Hello everyone. It's Thursday, September 6th, around 6 o'clock p.m. and I'm just gonna take a little video of Ziggy Stardust Wonder Horse. I'm just gonna go check on him. Ziggy was diagnosed with wooden tongue infection, which means he has a bacterial infection in his kind of mouth head area. Hey buddy. So exactly what happened was last Friday afternoon we were feeding Ziggy his dinner, and I noticed that he wasn't able to gobble it up quickly like he normally does, and that his tongue seemed a little bit swollen. So I thought that was really strange. Our horses all had been slobbering for about a week or so, which we determined was caused by a fungus growing in our hay that we grew this year. It causes slaframine poisoning in horses. So basically it's not a very serious thing, it just causes them to drool a lot, and so we took action right away to get new hay, but which is not easy this year. It's been a really bad year for hay, so we ended up getting some, and actually Friday afternoon was when we got our first shipment of that new hay. So we've taken all of our horses off of that hay now, and now they have nice new non-poisonous hay. So yeah, Ziggy wasn't able to eat his dinner, so because there was already something going on with the slobbering, I thought I'd better call the vet right away. So I did. That was 7 o'clock Friday evening, and our vet arrived around 10:30 in the evening. And by that time, we almost lost Ziggy in between calling and the vet coming. His tongue had swollen up so much it was sticking about like 5 inches out of his mouth, and he couldn't breathe. So he was laying down and like literally almost died from not being able to breathe. So the vet, thought that was extremely strange. He gave him, I'm not even sure what he gave him right away. I think Banamine, maybe some penicillin. He kind of just threw the works at him because he didn't know what was going on. So he gave him antihistamines and penicillin and Banamine, and I'm not sure what else at that time. Maybe some IV fluids. I can't remember. It's all a blur right now. I haven't had more than a couple hours sleep since Friday, and it's Thursday. So basically for a couple days we had no idea what was going on, and on Tuesday morning we made the decision to actually euthanize Ziggy because his condition just progressively was getting worse, and we just didn't know what to do, and he was suffering, and the vet was about 5 minutes away from arriving and euthanizing poor Ziggy. And I went online and I discovered that he had what's called wooden tongue infection, and this is a fairly common disease or infection in cattle, and rarely heard of in horses. Our vet had no idea what it was. He phoned down to Guelph Animal College, and they had no idea what it was. But anyway, we found one story of a horse named Bob in Bowie, Maryland, I think it was Maryland. And they had documented his case, and because of this we were able to change all of Ziggy's medications and put him on everything, all the right stuff, and almost immediately he started to come around. So before today, he hadn't eaten anything or drank since Friday afternoon, and for a horse this is an extremely long time. You can tell that he has lost some weight. He dropped most of the weight in the first couple days, but then the vet started giving him, it was either glucose or dextrose, I'm not sure, in the IV fluid, so that stabilized his weight. And also we started syringing him water in his mouth mixed with, it was water that was made by soaking hay cubes and Purina brand high fat, high fiber pellets. And then we strained out all the solids and injected that liquid into his mouth every hour for about 3 days. And a lot of the time it took us about 20 minutes to get him to have about 3 swallows. And so once we knew the right procedure, what we did was we started giving him tetracycline intravenously, sodium iodide intravenously, and also what we did was we lanced open these hard lumps underneath his jaw. And right away what happened, there was a little bit of blood and it stank a bit. Like, didn't smell like blood, it smelled like bacteria. So we knew right away we were onto something. And we started soaking that with Epsom salts and hot water every hour around the clock. After that, I think there was a small improvement. I can't remember exactly everything. My brain, it's not working at full capacity. So yes, the next day I think we ended up lancing, or the veterinarian lanced open 2 more areas. And I'm going to show you right now, so if you're squeamish, just look away for a minute. But for educational purposes, it's really good to have a look at this. So we had like a hard, like solid underneath his jaw, and now that we have lanced it open, there's pus just dripping out, and we are still soaking it every hour with Epsom salts and water, and flushing it and squeezing it and getting all that pus out. There's a few flies in it right now, but what we're using to keep the flies off is a natural ointment that we made from lavender oil, neem oil, and tea tree oil, and then we just apply it around the sores, the lanced areas there. So almost immediately after he lanced these 2, Ziggy was able to start drinking. It was only like maybe half a quart at a time. This was yesterday, late afternoon. And we've just seen immense improvement since then. So these are the 2 that were lanced yesterday, so they're dripping a bit more. You might be able to hear his breathing is kind of labored still and kind of loud, but nothing like the roaring, snoring that he's been doing for the past 5 days. He's doing a little bit of drooling still, and actually his tongue is all the way in his mouth right now. Hey buddy. He's a little bit tired, but he's sick. He's very, very much improved today. He just goes through periods where he rests for, 10 or 15 minutes and then goes around and tries to drink the whole time that he's been going through this ordeal. So this is the one that we lanced open 2 days ago. The whole time through this whole ordeal, he just tried so hard to drink every hour. He was getting so frustrated, just pawing at the water and trying to eat, but because his tongue was so swollen and hanging out of the side of his mouth, he obviously couldn't swallow. But when we syringed him, we actually had 3 people at a time, 2 people holding his head up and 1 person squirting the liquid in, and he was able to swallow a little bit that way. So today, huge improvement. He's already drank about 12 liters of soup, we're calling it. It's that hay cube and high fat, high fiber. I'll show you what it looks like over here. We're just offering it to him free choice and then changing it every hour because, you know, he is having a little bit of pus dripping into it. So yeah, it's really dark liquid. It's all the nutrients from the hay cubes and everything. And he actually has started eating a little bit of, we chopped up hay into tiny bits for him last night at 3 in the morning. And he can eat a little bit of that now. We've actually seen him maybe have about 5 mouthfuls actually go down in the last 24 hours, or 12 hours, sorry. And then this is what was left over from what we soaked. And we just offered that to him as well, and he's kind of snuffled around in it a bit, and I think he's gotten some down. We have been giving him a couple little handfuls of grass, which I've seen it go down too, which is just a miracle. And he also has a slow feed hay net hanging over here, where he only is able to get out, you know, a few blades of hay at a time, which is better for him than having a big mouthful right now. So yes, miracles have happened here. He's eating and drinking, which now we know for sure he's going to make it. So thanks everyone who's following this and sharing this. And I know he looks a little bit sad right now, but he actually nickered to me like I've never heard him, even when he's healthy. He nickered to me today, and he's just resting right now. But thanks again, everyone.